Howdy, y'all. Today's segment, I know I haven't posted here in a while, but I've just been super busy. But today's segment, I'd like to talk about prioritizing your company's integrity. Now, I know throughout your life, you heard this a million times that, all you have in your career is your name. And by the same token, all you have in being an entrepreneur is your company name. And the question I'd like to ask to you is, what kind of company do you want to have? If you viewed my previous post, you know, having good integrity and being honest with people and customers and vendors and so forth is a good thing to do because you never have to worry about looking over your back, about somebody watching you or anything of that nature. So, being honesty, having transparency and accountability is something that I always recommend from a business owner's perspective. And even, you know, it's you'd be surprised as an entrepreneur how many people are looking at you. Now, not everyone's going to say, "Hey, I'm looking at you specifically," but your employees, your vendors, your customers, they're watching. And I can tell you from experience, don't prioritize short-term gains, uh, you know, just to get ahead. Stick on the long term, focus on the long game, and be a good person, be well-rounded. And, one of the things I can tell you is lead by example. Because like I said, you never know who's watching. And you never know when that person is going to be important, either now or in the future. Also as well is you always want to define your core values and code of conduct. And if nothing else, have a mission statement. Put it on everything you do. So that way you know where you stand. And I know we all get busy. We all get sidetracked and we all focus on the short term. We all have rents to pay, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're just open and honest with people, have transparency, and hold yourself accountable, because I know it's easy being the head of a company to say, oh, it's my way or the highway. Be humble. Ask questions. Ask your employees or your subordinates for feedback. You always want to be improving. You always want to be sharpening that knife per se to make it sharper and sharper, because you're only as good as your last sale. And if you're stick with the long-term game as opposed to the short-term game, you're much better off. Also, as well, you want to foster open communication. Ask for feedback. I know as the high man or woman on a totem pole, you think you know it your way, and it's either your way or the highway. I agree, but be open to feedback. What's true today is not true tomorrow, kind of mentality, and understand that just because it's your way, you have 40 employees that you need to take care of, and they're taking care of you, hopefully. So if you keep that in mind and foster open communication, you'll never have to worry about being unemployed. And of course, always provide as well, getting feedback. You want to give feedback. So you always want to know where people stand or where they need to stand. Because sometimes we get sidetracked with running around and getting a sale or doing bookkeeping or accounting, whatever it is we do. Um, it's always good to just to occasionally, in a nice way, of course, give good feedback and as well as bad feedback. Hey, do more of this, but also do a little bit less of this. Um, Build an ethical process in every decision making that you do. Don't just say be ethical. Well, how are you going to be ethical? Well, do things the right way and tell them the process. And lastly, I know I've gone over this a little bit before. Always have accountability. Always say, and it's easy to give employees, you can just dock their pay or you can cut their hours or something like that if there's not accountability. But also create a situation from your end where there is accountability. This will definitely, we all could use some feedback sometime, and we all kind of get stuck in a rut. And it's always good to improve. It's always good to get better. And I know, you may be done with school, but you're never done with life. And you always need feedback from every facet of your life. And doing this is very opportunistic because we all want the money, but we don't want to work for the money. Well, you have to work for the money. So You always, and I understand sometimes getting feedback, it's just a pain in the butt, but you have to get it. You have to keep growing because it builds trust. It gets the top talent and it strengthens your reputation and it makes you successful. So keep that in mind. I know, like I said, getting feedback and accountability, it's one of those boring things that you hear about, but you have to do it. You have to. It's very important. You always have to be sharpening yourself as far as making yourself better and even from an entrepreneurial aspect, what's true when you originally started is not true today. So things change, right? And you got to change because the dinosaurs didn't change and they became extinct. So understand that, and hopefully this will help you grow in your entrepreneur journey. But just a little bit about me. Myself and my partner, we have a bookkeeping business. You can see right there, www.metroacc.com. If you like us, you love us, you want more of us, click like and subscribe. Until next time, stay awesome.